Tensions between protesters and police started earlier in the day as close to 2,000 demonstrators marched toward Lake Merritt. KTVU's John Sasaki was there as protesters began their march and then as the confrontations began.
It's already occupied.
The Occupy demonstration in downtown Oakland started peacefully enough.
Talking about class is said to be divisive.
But then the protesters hit the road east through the city. We did hear early on that this group is heading over to the Kaiser Convention Center to actually occupy that now shuttered building, and that is currently the direction we're heading. This man stopped along the way to enjoy the view of a line of police in riot gear.
Lovely day, ate it.
But minutes later, the face-off began outside the Kaiser Center, where protesters tore down fencing and were met with force from police. That attempt was thwarted.
We live in a police state. That's what I think of that. I think there should be a revolution in this country.
Then Oak Street turned into a virtual war zone. Protesters tried to get close to the police line, but were pushed back forcefully.
Officers took it upon themselves to tear gas and use rubber grenades and beanbag rifles on peaceful protesters. As you can see here with my face, I just got shot with a beanbag.
Not all the protesters were peaceful. We watched as some threw bottles, rocks, and other projectiles at police. Officers then chased them down. We're in the second hour of a tense standoff between police and the protesters. We've already been tear gassed, and now we're watching one arrest after another. Sir, what happened?
Y'all saw it on the cameras. You'll see it on the cameras every day.
We've already given the announcement to failure to disperse, and people that are still hanging out here are arrestable. If we see people that are throwing objects at police, we're going to move in if we can, if it's safe to do so, and arrest them.
By 5 p.m., 19 people had been arrested and 3 officers had suffered minor injuries, and that was all before dark. In Oakland, I'm John Sasaki, KTVU, Channel 2 News.
With the details on the financial impact, Christina.
Well, everyone has pretty much cleared out here after sticking around to see 99 Carl Edwards take home the Sprint Cup win. But he's not the only winner. Merchants in the wine country are celebrating too because these fans keep coming back year after year. Being up close and personal with the drivers before the race is part of the experience for die-hard NASCAR fans. And when those engines roared, they fired up about 100,000 people at Sonoma Raceway.
I love it.
Chris Thompson made the trip from the Central Valley.
We all camped out, motorhomes, and it was just amazing. You used to see all the stuff that goes on in between all this.
But for Seth Richards from St. Helena, it was a quick day trip with his son.
He's a huge fan. Ever since Pixar made the movie Cars, you know, he's addicted to cars and racing.
NASCAR makes a pit stop in the Bay Area once a year. It's a day the Sonoma Raceway looks forward to, along with merchants who see their sales drive up big bucks.
We know from what we hear from the restaurants and the wineries and the dinners that are hosted around here by corporate partners, as well as the hotels that are all booked up, that we certainly make a dent this time of year for them.
It's good. I mean, it's usually, you know, you think of it as a southeast part of the country sort of thing, so it's nice to have it in our backyard.
While the favorites may vary.
So I'm a big Northern California Kyle Larson fan all the way. Dale Jr. all the way.
The need for speed stays the same for fans.
It's the first year, but I think we're going to make it an annual thing.
The Sonoma Raceway says it worked very hard this year on its traffic plan to make sure fans could get in and out of this area very easily. And they say they're going to work very hard to welcome those same fans back next year. Live from Sonoma Raceway, Christina Rendon, KTVU Channel 2 News.
A nonprofit that uses animals to help people is now asking for some help of its own. Jasper Ridge Farm serves Portola Valley, but because of the group's money problems, the animals are having to commute from Gilroy. KTVU's Ann Rubin shows us the effort to build the animals a new barn.
You know, sometimes they swat at flies with their tail.
The goal of Jasper Ridge Farm is to bring animals together with the people who need them the most. Sometimes sick children at Ronald McDonald House, sometimes veterans. Today, a group from the Haven Family House homeless shelter.
It meant to me that I could actually touch animals. Because where I used to live, there wasn't that many animals.
Here, there are bunnies, goats, horses, and more.
It makes me feel happy and exciting.
And Jasper Ridge Farm keeps growing. They serve 1,500 children and adults each year. There's even a wait list for their Horse Buddies program. So recently they arranged to move their facility here, a 2.5-acre plot at Webb Ranch in Portola Valley.
This is our beautiful new home.
They raised money, got the necessary permits, then discovered a major problem. To grade and excavate the land wouldn't cost $25,000 as they had budgeted. It would cost $200,000.
We were stunned and horrified, but it felt just like one more hurdle.
And so the barn they bought sits in pieces, and the animals commute to the peninsula from Gilroy.
We feel like right now it's beyond us. We need more help.
They're trying to limit the impact on the animals and the impact on the programs they provide, but the drive is taking its toll.
Yes, we like to keep them around.
Still, Jasper Ridge Farm is simply out of money.
We are so close. The barn is here, the land is here.
And they're convinced the solution to their grading and excavating problem will be here eventually.
We have faith.
Right now, they're desperately trying to raise more money while also hoping to get someone who might be willing to donate grading services. They had hoped to get the barn up later this summer. In Portola Valley, Ann Rubin, KTVU Fox 2 News.
Well, let's hope they get those donations.